conclude that in the field of public education, the doctrine of separate but equal has no place. Separate educational facilities are inherently unequal.
They are words that changed America forever. Reaching out through the history, and today is the 70th anniversary of the landmark Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education, ending legally enforcing racial segregation in public schools.
There is no audio recording of that case, but today, thanks to a partnership between the Night Lab at Northwestern's Medill School of Journalism, Spooler.fm, and Oye, history is coming to life.
Well, Brown versus Board of Education revisited using artificial intelligence technology and the original transcripts to simulate the voices of the key figures in the case.
So we're joined tonight by the founder of Oye and Northwestern University Professor Emeritus Jerry Goldman, as well as James Boggs, the CEO of Spooler. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. This is fascinating.
Yeah, thank you for joining us streaming here.
Let's start with a question for Jerry. What was the original inspiration for the project?
I attended a performance about a year ago in Chicago of Heidi Schreck's play, What the Constitution Means to Me. And before the play began, the lights went down and a voice comes over the loudspeaker system in the theater, and it's telling us to turn off our cell phones and cameras. It's the voice of Joe Biden. And I'm confident that Joe Biden didn't make that recording. The audience was stunned and then chuckled, and no one, everybody obeyed the request. But it dawned on me at that point that I could do that. I could find a way to bring the voices that were never recorded in the Supreme Court, bring those to life. And the first case that came to mind was Brown against Board of Education, which was decided 70 years ago today.
So, Professor Goldman, let's take a pause right now to listen to the recreation and the recreation of the voice of the famous NAACP attorney at that time, Thurgood Marshall.
We are requested to direct our attention to the specific question as to whether or not the court, this court, has judicial power in construing the 14th Amendment to abolish segregation in the public schools. And our answer to that question is a flat yes.
It is so powerful to hear these voices. I mean, I'm getting chills because this is American history. We're hearing it again, the recreation. So, James, what is this special about, and how is AI going to be a part of it?
Well, the creative team at Spooler and I just love the positioning of this project. We saw it as an example of AI for good, making this historic document from the actual transcripts that were recorded at the time and filling in this blank space in terms of the audio recording. So what's special about this technology is this concept of a deep true, maybe you could say, instead of a deep fake. We're basing it on historical fact, but using AI to bring it to life and make it accessible to a new generation of listeners.
I like that term, a big true, not a big fake. We want to look at how you used AI to transform the voice of an actor, recreating a particularly powerful moment in this case. Thurgood Marshall dismissing arguments for segregation.
I got the feeling yesterday that when you put a white child in a school with a whole lot of colored children, the child will fall apart or something. Everybody knows that is not true.
Those same kids in Virginia and South Carolina, and I've seen them do it. They play in the streets together. They play on their farms together. They go down the road together. They separate to go to school. They come out of school and play ball together. They have to be separated in school. There is some magic to it.
It's wild. Jerry, who's this project for?
Well, I'd like to think that it's for the general public and for students and teachers for sure, in order to revisit this case in a new way. The audio certainly brings it to life, and there are aspects of it that are really unique to the history of the United States and the Supreme Court. So we have the artifact of Chief Justice Warren's draft opinion, in which he wrote in the margin words that don't appear in the opinion itself, the written opinion, but he actually spoke from the bench because he read the entire opinion from the bench on that 70 years ago today. So there's some interesting elements to it, including the word unanimously, which he added from the bench and does not appear in the opinion, although, of course, the opinion was unanimous.
So, James, you think about Little Rock 9, Ruby Bridges at this time, and some would say the barriers are still persistent today and 70 years later. How do you think you can use this as a tool to move forward, to help people, and how impactful could it be? Can you show it in classrooms? Can it be something every classroom in Chicago Public Schools should be viewing?
Well, we certainly think that there's a potential for education audience out there, and we were really thrilled to contribute in a small way to the historic preservation of this key moment in judicial history. So it was a fantastic project to bring the technology to this particular bit of content.
What else are you going to do, gentlemen? I mean, I think to use this for knowledge and understanding, this is the way perhaps many would argue artificial intelligence should be used. There's such a risk of the deep fakes that you talk about, Jerry, that are going to come as well. What do you do next to continue?
That's easy. That's easy. I was ready for that one. There was a follow-on Brown versus Board of Education decision decided May 31st, 1955. And that involved the order that followed from this decision, which set the standard of desegregating schools with all deliberate speed. And I'd like to bring that case alive too. There were 14 hours of argument over 4 days in 1955, and then the decision in May. And there were some real challenging moments when you read the transcript, but I think it's much more exciting to bring it to life. So that's my plan.
For sure, a pivotal moment in history, and for some people, they've never even heard about this case. So this project is so important and impactful for people to see it, hear it, and I like that you said it's the truth, deep truth. Very powerful, and just listening to it and knowing the history and the backstory on this.
Well, you picked some good actors because it's spot on. I mean, I don't know that many people would be able to tell the difference. James, are you going to continue to collaborate as well?
Yeah, we hope to work together on bringing some more of these iconic cases into audio. And I have to extend compliments to Dion Graham in particular. He was the actor, a leading audiobook reader who played Thurgood Marshall. And then we took his voice and applied an AI model to make it sound more like the period correct Thurgood Marshall that argued in front of the Supreme Court as an advocate before, of course, then becoming justice later on.
I'd like to add a word for our collaborators, our AI collaborators in Kyiv, Ukraine, who produced the cloned voices for us.
Wow.
And knowing our large Ukrainian population here at Chicago, I think they should take some real pride in the work that these folks did at Respeecher.
Global collaboration there.
Right.
Really very important work, and we appreciate you sharing it with us tonight, and we hope that everybody can learn about this project and hear about it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It'll teach you a lot. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Come back, the next project you work on. We'd love to listen to it and share your experiences as we continue to take AI in a positive. You get so much negative press from the media oftentimes, ironically. We look forward to your next project. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.